Welcome again. Thank you for your time. I'm going to discuss in this video what phrasal verbs are as we look at various examples that we encounter in various contexts. First of all, we have to note that phrasal verbs are in different categories and they use various words to be formed. What is a phrasal verb? A phrasal verb is a verb used together with a preposition or an adverb to form a phrase. The phrase gives a different meaning from verbs and prepositions if they are used separately. We have several examples of phrasal verbs and they use various words to be formed. For example, we have the phrasal verbs formed from the word back. The word back forms various phrasal verbs. For example, back something up. If we say back something up or back something or back somebody up, it means that it is to encourage or support. Back away means that to move away from somebody or something. Another one is back down on something. To back down on something means to take back an opinion. And we can give examples in sentences, how these particular phrasal verbs can be used in sentences. That is what matters the most. If I can give an example of a sentence using one of the phrasal verbs that are used under the verb back, I can say, how many people will back me up on the idea? So you see, back up or back me up is a phrasal verb that we have stated what it means. And when you use it in a sentence, the meaning can be clear if the audience understands the meaning of a phrasal verb. Another example we can talk of, the fireman ordered everyone to back away from the burning building. Although we have several examples that we can give, but because we have several verbs or many verbs that we are going to look at and how they form phrasal verbs. Another verb which forms phrasal verbs is the verb bear. Bear has got several phrasal verbs. For example, if we say bear down on somebody, bear down on somebody, or bear down on something, it means to move quickly towards something or somebody. We can talk of bear on something. When we talk of to bear on something, it means to relate to something. Bear up. Bear up means remain cheerful, especially in a difficult time. Bear with somebody or bear with something. It is to be patient. When somebody says, bear with me, that means that you have to be patient. Bear down on is to crush. Bear somebody or something out. It means to confirm that something is correct or what somebody is saying is true. For example, in sentences we can say, the strong man bore down on the thief. Now, depending on the tense, we can change the form of the verb that is used to form the phrasal verb. Like we can say, the strong man bore down on the thief. That is the past tense. So the verb bear has to change to bore. Another example we can talk of, please bear with me. I will pay you back the money. This one also shows the present simple tense. We have other verbs that also form phrasal verbs apart from the ones we have stated. We have another verb, the verb break. Under the verb break, we have the following examples of phrasal verbs that are formed. Breakdown. When we talk of breakdown, it means to cease to function or lose control of one's emotions. Break into means to enter by force, especially in a building. When you enter by force, especially in a building, that is break into. Another one is break up with somebody. That is obvious. That is to end a relationship. When we talk of break up with somebody, it means to end a relationship. We have other verbs. Another verb that we should also understand how it forms phrasal verbs is the verb bring. Bring forms various phrasal verbs. For example, when we talk of bring something up, to bring something up means to vomit or mention something during a meeting or discussion. Another phrasal verb from the word bring is bring somebody up. When we talk of bring somebody up, this means to raise or rear somebody. Bring about is to cause. Bring in is to bring in yields or profit. That is to bring profit when we talk of bring in. Bring out is to show. When you bring out, it means you show, to show. Bring forward means to move an event to an earlier date. To move an event to an earlier date. That is to bring forward. Like if we talk of an event which is to take place 2 weeks after you have spoken, if the event is brought forward, is brought to 1 week earlier, it means that is to bring forward. Another phrasal verb is bring back. To bring back is to help somebody remember something. Bring somebody round. Bring somebody round means to make somebody become conscious again. To make somebody become conscious again. Examples in sentences, we can give an example like we can say the heavy rains brought about the bursting of the river's bank. That one is clear. Another example we can talk of, Mwai would like the date of the trip to be brought forward. Another phrasal verb or a verb that forms phrasal verbs is the verb call. In this particular verb, we have the following. Call for something. This means to demand for something. Another one is call in. Call in means to comment or seek clarification by making a phone call to a radio or television station. That is call in. Comment or seek clarification by making a phone call to a radio or television station. Another phrasal verb is call at. To call at means to stop at a place for a short time. To stop at a place for a short time. Call out. Call out means to ask somebody to come, especially during an emergency. That is to call out. Another one is call something off. That means to cancel. To cancel something. Another one is call something up. That is to remember something. To remember something. call something in. To call something in means to ask for the return of something. Call on. Call on is to visit briefly. Example in sentences we can talk of. Mudhoni called in the faulty toys for repair. I called on my friend yesterday. Another verb that forms various phrasal verbs is the verb carry. Under the verb carry, we have the following phrasal verbs. Carry something out. When we talk of that, it means to complete a certain task or plan. Another one is carry something off. That means to win. Another one is carry on, means to continue moving. Carry on with something. To carry on with something means to continue doing something. Carry away. When something carries somebody away, the person loses self-control. That is to carry away. Carry something through means to complete something successfully. Examples in sentences. We can talk of John carried off the top prize in the competition. Another example is the farmer carried on with the planting despite the rain. Another verb that is used to form phrasal verbs is the verb come. Examples: come about means happen or take place. Another one is come off, means to be removed. Another one is come out. It means to become publicly known. Another one is come to. Come to means to amount to or gain consciousness. Come up means when something comes up, it is noticed or raised for discussion. Come round. Come round means recover or regain consciousness. Recover or regain consciousness. Another phrasal verb is come apart. Come apart means to break into pieces. Another one is come back. It means to return. Another one is come back at somebody. It is to reply angrily to somebody. Another one, come back to something. It means to return to a subject or an idea. To return to a subject or an idea. Come before means to be presented to somebody or something for decision making or for discussion. That is to come before. To be presented to somebody or something for decision making or discussion. Another one is come through something. To come through something means to recover from an illness or a difficulty. Examples in sentences could be, how did this disagreement come about? She asked them. Another one is, the ring easily comes off my finger. Another example could be, that person came across as being rude. We have several examples, but another verb is cut. Under the verb cut, we have the following phrasal verbs. Cut back on something means to reduce the amount of something. Cut somebody off. It means to interrupt somebody as they speak. That is to cut somebody off, to interrupt them as they speak. cut something up. It is to divide something into smaller pieces. Cut something away from something. That means remove something from something. Examples in a sentence we can talk of: when making a budget this month, cut back on all the unnecessary items. Another verb is the verb fall. Under the verb fall, we have the following phrasal verbs. Fall back means to retreat. Fall apart means to break into smaller pieces. Fall out means to quarrel. Fall over something means to trip over something and fall. Fall through. Fall through means fail to be completed or to happen. Examples in a sentence we can talk of: after falling out with somebody, it is important to apologize. Another example: our best laid plans fell through despite our efforts. Another verb that is used to form phrasal verbs is the verb get. Under this verb, we have the following phrasal verbs. Get off is to escape. Get at somebody is to attack a person. Get through is to succeed. Get over is to overcome unpleasant situation. Get up is to stand up or increase in strength by the sea waves or wind. Examples in a sentence we can talk of: the thief could not get off when he was caught.